Good morning, everyone. Mayor Steve Wilder here from the city of North Canton. I hope everyone is doing well today. Here we are, May 5th, 2021. If I'm correct, I think it was Tuesday, it was Teacher Appreciation Day, and this is Teacher Appreciation Week. But my shout goes back out to my favorite teacher, God bless her, Mrs. Carol Martin. She was my fifth grade teacher at Avondale Elementary School. And what a wonderful lady she was. She was very kind and caring and helped a young man like myself, have direction in life. And I go back to my fifth grade teacher. And thank you, Mrs. Martin, for everything you did for us. Don't forget, Mother's Day is right around the corner, Sunday, May the 9th. So make sure we take care of all our mothers and our special women in our lives. So just a short note about that. And for my fellow Kent State graduates, as we recall, it was 51 years ago, as I was a freshman at Kent State University, that we had the May 4th shootings on our campus. A very tragic incident that occurred for us. It's affected us not only then, but our lives ever since. And again, my prayers always go back out to the families of those that were injured and killed. But hopefully us graduates from Kent State University have gone on to do better things for our communities and for our country and has made us stronger. And so my thoughts just go out to my fellow classmates at the time, wherever you're at, and that we have gone on to try to do better things for our lives and for our communities, our families, and our country. So thank you. I'm going to get right into some statistics here for our health situation here in Stark County. As of May 4th, 2021, COVID-19 numbers for Ohio. In Stark County, we were at 32,099, and that's up from May the 2nd, when we were at 32,043. Hospitalizations, we're at 1,846. And we've had 907 deaths, and we've had 30,341 presumed recovered. And this is data from the Canton Health Department, Stark County Health Department, our combined health departments. And you can find this on the state coronavirus.ohio.gov website. Also, I'd like to share from the Stark County Health Department that for those ages 16 years of age or older can register through armorvax.com or by calling 330-451-1681. Just want to provide that for you again. 16 years or older can register through armorvax. That's ARMORVAX.com or call 330-451-1681. They have plenty of openings right now for appointments. Here's some reminders about scam calls that still might be floating around out there. Here's 3 reminders for you to keep in mind. The Stark County Health Department will never ask you for your social security number or your credit card information. They will never identify, they will identify themselves and provide you with information that you are registered with if they have to contact you, okay? And they will never schedule you for an early morning or late evening appointment time. However, they are trying to make some adjustments now to try to be more available for people who might be going to school, going to work, and they will eventually start trying to do some evening hours, maybe till 7 o'clock at night. Just some tips for you to remember there. Also, from the update that we had on Tuesday from the Stark County Health Department, our weekly report, they've given out 54,800 plus vaccinations, again, through Tuesday through Saturday at the Whipple Adult Center there at Whipple and Hills and Dales. They're giving out over 1,000. They have 1,000 appointments available. Right now, they have 1,300 openings this week, so they're trying to do 1,000 vaccinations a day, but they also have 1,300 openings this week. And I think they've hit the eligible people in our county. They're at about 46% plus in our county that's been vaccinated. Their goal is to reach 70% of our county to be vaccinated against COVID-19. The Altman Health Group, they had 18 inpatient. They had 7 people on ICUs. Unfortunately, they had 6 on ventilators, and they've had some new cases come in, about 2 new cases. They're still operating their clinics at their campuses. Mercy Cleveland Clinic, they had 30 patients. They had 7 in ICU, and they had 3 on ventilators. And they had only had 1 employee out this week. Both are seeing a little bit of an uptick in cases. That could be from the variant that is floating around out there, but I wanted to share that with you. This route too from our Governor DeWine's latest announcements that meanwhile more coronavirus variants are on the rise, making up nearly half of new Ohio cases. And Ohio has reported 658 cases of the B.1.1.7, which originated in the United Kingdom, and 36 other cases of variants according to U.S. Centers of Disease Control and Prevention data. So we just want to be careful when you're out there in the public, okay, to still mask up whenever possible, if you're interacting with the public, other than your family or household members. I'm going to lead into some things here for the city in regards to our events that we have planned for the summer, or for the spring and for the summer, and I want to touch base on those firsthand right now. It was back on February 21st that Governor DeWine announced that the opening for proms, banquets, weddings, fairs, festivals, and parades were going to be permitted. And so the state will allow proms and banquets, weddings, fairs, festivals, and parades this spring. Masks and distancing rules will be required. Just like to share that with you as we go back in history, because I know the newspaper came out last week, and at City Council, I was asked to comment on our events for Memorial Day and July 4th activities. So I'd like to share my thoughts on that with you, and so please indulge. I ask you to indulge your time for me on this. Folks, navigating the COVID-19 pandemic these last 14 months or so is an understatement. And I reflect on my career as a police officer and police work. You know, there are dimensions of police work things that literally there are dimensions in police work where things that literally mean the difference between life and catastrophic injury that no one will really ever understand without taking the time to study them, to be trained in them, and to experience them. And in many instances, experience is gained during training and in actual events. In other words, learning it on the job firsthand. Well, I believe if I take this attitude also and thought that there are dimensions of serving as mayor where things that literally mean the difference between the safety and welfare of our community that no one will really understand without taking time to study that or to be trained in it and to experience them firsthand. And in many instances where experience is gained during training and in actual events. In other words, I learned a lot of things on the job also. But among those things is navigating this whole last year, massively stressful and unpredictable and rapidly unfolding and highly dangerous situations such as the COVID-19 pandemic has confronted us and myself in this office. So as I look at things, as we open up things, I consider the level of risk because it is a public health concern. So there's a number of factors that I felt needed to be considered for the Memorial Day parade and the July 4th parade schedule. And I followed these I took into consideration the CDC guidelines, the Ohio Department of Health, and guidelines also provided by the governor's office. So as we look at those things to consider again is facial coverings and maskings. Outdoor, unable to maintain 6 feet from individuals who are not members of their own family or household. That's a critical thing to think about. The congregating part. Avoid gathering in groups and attempt at all times to maintain social distancing, which is 6 feet as it's being defined. And large gatherings. You know, organizers and managers should conduct the event in a manner that discourages individuals from standing or sitting close together. So, as I look at these events and trying to plan and manage these things, I think about how many people will be attending this event. You know, what's the appropriate level to require facial coverings or masks? What is the degree of compliance of the people that will be participating at our parades? Something like that. And is it worth the risk to everyone's health and safety to have the event this year in the traditional sense that we've had in past years? And is it really, again, is it worth the risk? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? So what I've done this year in working with some of the organizers, whether it's the Lions Club or the North Canton JCs, which are now called the Junior Chamber International, for Memorial Day Parade. We've designed a reverse parade. It's going to be Monday, May 31st. It's going to go from 10 to 11 a.m. And again, in an effort to uphold our time-honored Memorial Day festivities in the safest way possible in the midst of this pandemic, residents and visitors alike are invited to drive their vehicles south on Main Street from Charlotte to St. Paul's, our town center here, and wave and salute to the individuals or groups gathered socially distanced in honor of the men and women who have died while serving in the U.S. military. And we're open to any individuals or groups who would like to participate in this unique event. And they should reach out to John Ferris at rev.ferris@gmail.com. So that is rev.ferris@gmail.com, or the North Canton Lions Club for registration or potential participant. And following the parade, following the reverse parade, I will be over at the Bitzer Park at 11 a.m. with a few students from the North Canton Middle School for some remarks regarding the day at a very special ceremony. So in the spirit of things, the North Canton JCs, in helping out with goodwill, will be accepting canned goods and contributions that will turn into the donated to the SAM Center. So we're asking people to load up their cars and drive by in front of City Hall here and our corridor of our veterans and groups that are willing to participate in this event. Also for July 3rd and July 4th. July 3rd, we're right now tentatively planning the same type of reverse parade on that morning. It'll be after the July 4th runs by the YMCA, probably again from 10 to 11 or maybe 10:15 to 11:15, somewhere in that range when the runners are completed. And that would be July the 3rd. And also on July 3rd, we have a mini concert with the Canton Symphony Orchestra. They're going to have a quintet down at the Whitwer Park from 4 to 8. We feel that that'll be a safe venue. We'll be in compliance with physical or social distancing, and it'll be an outdoor event. And yes, masks will be required also for attending that event. In regards to the fireworks concern that was brought up in the newspaper, and people have been emailing and discussing about that. Folks, I am not against the fireworks, okay? It's just that I know the last year and this year, the North Canton Chamber were strapped for funds for funding that. The city does not fund it. We provide the police and fire units that will be attending that. So the fireworks, I'm good to go with that, all right? The problem is, if you want to help fund them, okay, or contribute to the North Canton JCs, you can do so. And I have that information for you. And we would have time to have our permits in place, and that would be on the July 4th. We would have our fireworks at our usual spot there off of 7th Street. And so if you want to contribute to the 2021 fireworks, that's an annual event. You can email that to Abby Tanner. She is the Community Development Vice President, and that email address is cdvp@northcantonjcs.org. So there again, cdvp@northcantonjcs.org, and they'll have more information on that. So again, folks, I'm all for the fireworks. Okay, it's just that if the funding is there and they can get a vendor to participate in that, let's make it happen, okay? Let's make it happen. Also, on what I'm offering too is if for some reason that we do not have the parade, let me say this. I am also working on a plan B, okay? And as things unfold in the month of May and then through the month of June, if things change under the guidelines of the CDC or the Ohio Department of Health or our state legislature or the governor's office, if that provides an opportunity to us for have a parade, I'm going to see how we can make that happen, okay? So I am working on a plan B, but in the meantime, we still want to honor the day, and we have the reverse parade planned. Also, I'm going to encourage our families. I am opening up our requests for, or allowing requests for block parties and neighborhood parties. So throughout the summer or on the 4th of July weekend, if you decide to have a small block party, the families know each other, you know how to physically distance each other, you know what kind of food preparations will be. I saw them happen a couple years ago. You can have your own kids' games and gatherings. So I'm going to encourage that. I'm rescinding that order that we are allowed to have our block parties and our neighborhood parties. And that has to be coordinated through the police department, not through City Hall, but through the police department. So I would encourage you also on that weekend to let's bring some community back and get to know your neighbors again, since we maybe have been distanced so far this last pandemic. I want to share this thought with you also. 1 year ago today, or probably a year ago today, probably hardly any one of us knew anyone who even had COVID symptoms, or let alone died from COVID related symptoms or illnesses. And you know what? I bet you now we all do. We all know someone, either in our family or friends or circle of friends or at work, someone who has contracted COVID and actually had succumbed to it. Folks, no death is acceptable. No death is acceptable. Canceling the traditional type parade, this isn't a political a reason, folks, okay? This is a reason. It's to preserve the life and safety and well-being of our community. And that's my approach on this, okay? And the health and safety of our community is the greatest priority. And I just feel that we must act in the best interest and well-being of all organizers, our volunteers, our participants, and our spectators. And yes, though I'm disappointed, okay, that we're not having a traditional type of parade for just these two events, Memorial Day and July 4th parade. But I'm committed to making 2022 a comeback year for all of us and for all of us to enjoy. So please, I hope you understand that. And let me complete it by this way. From within my heart, I pray that this pandemic we are fighting against, which we are all a part of, is not being fought in vain. And I pray that we confront it, that what confronts us now is not to let our guard down against combating this pandemic. We've come so far, okay, because of the continued precautions that we've taken and we've done a year ago and carrying on now. Again, I pray that the days ahead of our children, for our children and our families, it will be safer for all of us, and we can enjoy life and have few sorrows. Here's what we have open for us right now. Here's what we have things going forward. We have our Dogwood Pool is going forward. It opens up May 29th. I've already talked to you about how to get your pool passes. Contact the YMCA. We've got our park buildings going. We have our city rentals going. In fact, our city rentals, I'll go through them real quick. We got our Price Park 1 and 2. the Fitzpatrick, the Washington, Whitwer Park, Eastwoods Park, Dogwood Shelter, Civic Center. Folks, those things are getting booked up, and people are agreeing to follow the precautions they have for their events. They're using common sense, and I appreciate that. Our park shuttles, like I said, our city buildings, the rentals, they're going fast. You're going to have to call now to try to schedule anything because we are booked up almost through the August on many of our facilities. Dogwood Shelter especially, and Price and the Civic Center is open, but for weddings and banquets and things like that. Arrowhead Golf and Event Center has been remodeled. Their banquet facility is open. Our North Canton Public Library, we're working with them for their outdoor events. I can't wait for their for their events to happen, and we're in full support of that. Full support of working together with the North Canton Chamber of Commerce. Folks, I'm very excited that we can bring back the Main Street Festival. It's scheduled for August the 14th. And there again, everyone is following the guidelines that we have in place right now under the CDC and the Ohio Department of Health and the governor's office, okay, for spacing, mask wearing, and having sanitation in place. So I'm very confident that people will be able to participate in those things in a safe manner. Our 720 market is going to start on May the 15th. It'll be here at the town center in the square. Our North Canton Little League is in full go. Last year we had even allowed the late league and even the football season to continue on for our children. Congratulations to Walsh University. They're going to have their graduations this weekend, and they're staggered out, smart on their part for families and their graduates. Our North Canton City Schools, they're planning their prom, they're planning their graduation. I've talked to the administration. They've got a good plan in place. They have a rain date in case things happen. It's going to be outdoors. Congratulations to them and the students that will be graduating. You've had a tough year, but you're going to make it through the end here. And as I mentioned, the North Canton J.C. Fair is going to be scheduled for June 14th to the 19th. That is still in the planning stages, but I'm very happy that we'll be able to pull that off. So, folks, we do have things opening up and available, but as I've said before, we're operating under what I have in front of me right now, under the Responsible Restart Ohio guidelines. And so those are the decisions that I've made for the betterment of our community. So I hope you understand that. But I also understand your disappointment, my disappointment, in having something as traditional as we've had in past years. As I mentioned before, FEMA has helped to pay funeral costs for COVID-19 related deaths. Again, if you need assistance on that, just call 1-844-684-6333, and that is for their funeral assistance program. And where you might be able to receive $9,000 for a loved one who has perished by the result of COVID-19 symptoms. Let's see here. Again, permits. Unfortunately, I still have City Hall closed. I'm reaching out to June 1st, if not maybe mid-June, to open up City Hall again. We have some renovations going on, but I really want the place cleaned up before we have our citizens coming back. It could go to July 1st, but I'm really shooting for mid-June. So hang in there with me, okay? Our permits is going strong. If you have any questions, just call 330-499-5557. Folks, if you're doing home improvements, you might need a permit for something. Again, we're just trying to keep things safe for our community and keep our standards in compliant as best we can with the state and for the county and for ourselves. The burn permits, again, you get them through our permit department, and the burn permits are $10 per burn permit. You can go to the North Canton Fire Department website. You should be able to click on a connection there that will take you to the right page for information. But if you have any questions, you can call the fire department at 330-499-3403, extension 1207. As a friendly reminder, May 17th is right around the corner for our taxes. Rita is handling that for us. So again, you can call them at 1-800-860-7482 for questions and inquiries or concerns. 1-800-860-7482 if you have questions on your tax return. Folks, they're due. All right, May 17th is right around the corner. Also, coming up, I shared with you our rates for the Dogwood Pool. Again, our season's going to open May the 29th, goes to August 22nd. We'll be open 28th and 29th of August, and again on September 4th and 6th. It's open daily. It'll be open daily from 11 to 8, and memberships are available. Just contact the North Canton YMCA at 330-499-2587. Okay. And gosh darn rain has kind of come in. It's making everything green. But, you know, we've been resurfacing our streets. Again, Wilman, Donner, Florence, I think they are done. We've been working on Church, Lorena, Westfield, and Hines. And folks will be coming out to Washington Square. We're going to be fixing up Kingscote Circle, Wendover Circle, Pennhurst, Cheswold, and Fenchurch. And also we're going to be working on Crestland, Whittingham Street, Edgewood Street, and Gaslight Circle. So our street paving program is in full swing. It's just we got to watch between the raindrops to make sure we get the right surface down for you. Already on Monday, we had our fire hydrants are being tested. That was for this week was again Monday, May the 3rd. That's behind us. We did one this morning on March the 5th. Again, we're doing the between 11 a.m. or 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. So we're just checking our city water system. If for some reason there is discoloration before laundering and it lasts for several hours, call the drinking water plant at 330-499-8223, option 9, okay? Any discoloration, give us a call at the water treatment plant, 330-499-8223, option 9. I want to thank you for cooperating with us on your trash pickup and recyclables. Again, our yard waste, you can put out in a 30-gallon plastic or paper bag or bag. Bags are not to weigh more than 50 pounds. This is an extra if for your yard clippings and brush and that you're, you know, for your spring cleanup and things like that. Just keep in mind tree and brush clippings 4 feet long or less, and they must be tied and bundled. And just something there for you. And also, May 7th is the opt-out deadline for our community electric aggregation notification. In other words, if you don't want any changes, you don't do a thing, okay? But if you opt out, then there is a process for you. You should have received a letter in the mail. And our rate this year is going to be 4.34 cents per kilowatt hour. So, and that's down from 5.1 cents from the previous one. However, the opt-out date is May the 7th. If you're going to stay in our system, don't worry about it. You'll be okay. And a couple other announcements here. Our North Canton Farmers Market, it starts today, and it is going from 3 to 6. And it's going to be outside the old Kmart parking lot, still at 1447. We're still working with a company. We're in a non-disclosure agreement up there, but it looks like we'll have some space to allow the farmers market to be there as long as we can, not in the spring and then through the summer. But I'm hopeful that we'll have a deal coming through on that. It's been a long, hard process, but I got my fingers crossed, folks, that we'll have something there that we'll be able to announce in the future. Let's see. Also coming up on, let's see. Well, I mentioned Arrowhead again. Contact, you know, their golf outings are open. Oh, by the way, they're May 9th. They're having a Mother's Day brunch. Okay, so you'll want to call and get a hold of Deanna and to make sure you can schedule your Mother's Day brunch there. On May 14th, they're having a Funny Noises production comedy night. Okay, May 16th, they have a Young and Fun Kids Expo. And on May 29th, they're going to have a spring 2-man scramble. So there's a number of events happening out there at Arrowhead Golf and Event Center. put this on your calendar for May 14th and 15th. Our North Canton Gardens Club plant sale is going to be May the 14th and 15th. I know I'm holding off on buying a couple plants out there for them. That's going to be at 520 Heatherwood Circle Southwest. And so come on out, patronize the North Canton Garden Club. They took a little bit of a hit last year, but they had a sales, and I'm hopeful that they'll be able to recoup some. So come on out and buy a few plants out there. It's a great organization, wonderful group of ladies. I want to thank them for allowing me to sit on their last meeting, and it was a real honor to be there. So thank you for the invitation. And let's see here. Oh, congratulations to our hometown university. The graduation events for Walsh University are occurring this week. They're having a Saturday, May 8th. They're having a commencement ceremony at 9 a.m. for the Bayer School of Nursing and Division of Education. And that's going to be at Caccini Health and Wellness Complex. And let's see, also on at 11:30, they have a baccalaureate Holy Mass. And at 1:30, they're having a commencement ceremony at the School of Arts and Sciences. And that's at the Caccini Health and Wellness Center. And then on Sunday, they have another commencement ceremony at 9, and that's going to be for the DeVille School of Business. And they'll have a baccalaureate Holy Mass at 11:30. Then following that will be a 1:30 commencement ceremony for the School of Behavioral Health and Sciences. So again, congratulations to all the graduates out there from our hometown university. I mentioned our fire. Hey, folks, sad news though. The North Canton Indoor Outdoor Home Improvement Show that was scheduled for May 9th and 8th, that's again, this weekend, it was canceled. The BIA Business Industry Association, they could not, or Building Industry Association, could not get enough vendors. I think everybody's out working now, and so unfortunately, we're not going to have that this year. It was a good offer to them, but they just couldn't get enough vendors there for the event. And I mentioned our North Canton Farmers Market that starts today, so come on out and see them. And that's all I have for you today. I hope you can understand my reasoning for our two parades. It's a sacrifice for us, but one that I feel that we need to follow for a public health concern for us. All the other events, I'm very confident that people will watch out and care for one another. They're under the format and guidance of the CDC and also Restart Ohio, and also in compliance with our Starr County Health Department. So you're going to see me at some of those events. I'm so glad that we could open a number of things up. This is a hurdle for us. It's hard for me to make that decision. And I understand people are upset with me about it. How could I do this? You know, how unpatriotic I am. But folks, as a veteran myself, and as a longtime law enforcement officer, and the mayor for the city of North Canton, I understand your feelings. Please understand that of my concerns, but I want us to go forward in the best way possible and safety. If things change in the future, believe me, we're going to try to make things happen. So I went long today. I appreciate your indulgence. I can't thank you enough for what you've done to keep us to this point, to work on our safety to this point. So with that said, I have great confidence in our community that we'll care for one another, stay safe, keep well, have fun this summer, and just take care of yourselves. And thank you.